Good morning. Okay, so this is think of this as your reading lesson for today. We're going to be working on your raccoon essay. And in this lesson, we're going to learn how to find the evidence from the articles for you to support each of your arguments in your persuasive essay. So the first thing you want to do is take a look at your pros and cons list. As I mentioned in the last video, I chose con because there is just so much more evidence there. So I'm gonna go ahead and look at my con list, and I don't need this many reasons. I need 3 because I'm gonna do 3 body paragraphs, 1 reason for each of the body paragraphs. So I'm looking at my list. I've got that they're wild animals, it's unethical and illegal in some cases to keep them, housing them is hard, they're very destructive, unpredictable, hard to house train, biters, many vets are inexperienced. I've got this whole long list of reasons, and I need 3, but I also notice that there's a little bit of overlap with some of these. So for my first reason, I'm going to say that they're wild animals, so they're unpredictable. So when I look on my cons list, there's a few things that kind of relate to that. I've got one, they're really wild animals. They're not domesticated. Wild animals are unpredictable. And the other thing here is that they can learn rules, but they might not always follow them. So I'm going to take those and kind of roll them into one reason. And so that's my first reason then, that they're wild animals, they're unpredictable. Now, all of that is going to go into my first body paragraph, which I'm going to show you how to write in the next video. But later in the week, I'm going to write 2 more body paragraphs, and each one of those is going to have its own reason. So I'm going to pick those reasons now. My second reason I decided is that they are very destructive. Now there's several things in my cons column that has to do with them being destructive. So, excuse me. Say hi, Jimmy. Hello. All right. So I've got they're very destructive. I'm also good at thieves, so stealing stuff, that's kind of part of, messing up your stuff. And then I also noticed down here, I had this thing about when they get mad, they will poop on your stuff, which certainly destroys it. So I'm going to kind of roll those 3 together into one reason. And then finally, I need a third reason. And for my third reason, I think I'm going to choose that it's hard to provide like the right kind of housing for them. Because as I look at my list, I've got a couple of things there that are about that. Once they're adults, it's hard to keep them anywhere but in a cage, and keeping them in a cage is mean. And then there was in another article, it said that they need their own rooms, and not a lot of people have like a spare bedroom for their pet raccoon. So I think that makes a really good third reason. So now I've got my 3 reasons. Each one of them is going to go in its own body paragraph. And my first reason is that they're wild animals and therefore they're unpredictable. Now, I'm going to go back to my articles now and figure out which article that information came from, so that when I write my body paragraph, I can cite the article. I can say, according to Article 1, or Article 3 says that, or whatever, okay? So as I go back through my articles, I'm kind of skimming, and actually in Article 1, right at the beginning, the first reason that they don't make good pets, raccoons are wild animals, not pets, and even tamed are extremely high maintenance and require an experienced, knowledgeable guardian. Okay, boom. So now I'm gonna make a little note on my list where it says they're wild animals. I'm going to just write a little 1 there, and I know when I go to write that paragraph, I'm going to cite Article 1. Now, I had something else there, unpredictable. So let's see, where did it say that they were unpredictable? I'm looking through. Oh no, here it is. It's that they still have wild instincts. That's what I wanted to add in there. So in Article 3, it says, even if the raccoons you bring home is bought through an established breeder, they will still have wild instincts. That's what I wanted to put in there. Okay, so that is Article 3. So I'm going to write Article 3 right there. So I know when I write about that, it came from Article 3. Okay, so now I know where the evidence for my first reason is. Now, my next one is about them being destructive. So now I'm going to go through and look for information about them being destructive and see where that is. Well, in Article 3, it says, raccoons aren't easy to house train. A raccoon can be trained to use a litter box or on a walk outside, but if they become angry with you, they'll be doing their business around the areas of your home. Ugh. So that's Article 3, and that's part of my destructive. So I'm just going to make a little note that, yeah, there it is, Article 3. When they get mad, they'll poop on your stuff. Okay. And then another thing for being destructive, let's see. Okay, here in Article 1, okay, more about going to the bathroom all over your house. And also Article 1 is where it talks about raccoons are master thieves. So those adorable little human-like fingers on their front paws are quite capable of breaking into virtually any locked, latched spot in your home, and then they can destroy stuff. So when I write about that, I'm going to cite Article 1. So I'll say something like, according to Article 1, raccoons can break into just about anything, right? Okay, and then I think I've got one more place somewhere about them being destructive. Yeah, here we go. This one is in Article 2, and there it says they can be loving and sweet pets. They require a great deal of work. Okay, here it says, they are not the kind of domestic pets you can leave alone for very long. When they get bored, your house can be destroyed in your absence. Not good. Okay, so that's Article 2. So under destructive here, I'm going to write a little 2. All right, now finally, my third reason is all about how it's hard to provide the right space for them. So I know it's in here somewhere, I just have to find it. So let me skim through here. Okay, in Article 2 on the second page, it says, talks about them being independent, still having wild instincts. There will be days where they want to play and cuddle all the time, and others when they want to retreat to their own space. Because of that, they usually need a full room inside that is entirely theirs. They need plenty of toys to keep them occupied, bedding, and things to climb on and explore. Okay, so that's a pretty big deal. You have to provide a whole room for them. So that is which article? Article 2. So when I have here, once they're adults, okay, they need their own rooms, and that is from Article 2, so I'm just going to make a little 2 there. So I know when I'm writing that paragraph, I can cite Article 2. Now, when they're adults, hard to keep them anywhere but a cage. Where did I find that? Okay, here we go. Right on the first page of Article 1, it says, housing a raccoon can be a huge challenge. Allowing him the run of your house isn't safe, as this little fellow is very destructive to belongings, including door moldings and furniture. Unpredictable. Locking a raccoon in a cage, a bedroom, or other confined space is simply caging a wild animal, which is inhumane. Okay, So that's my other thing about how difficult it is to house them properly. And that is in Article 1. So I'm going to make a little 1 for that. And then when I go back later to write that, I know exactly where to find the information, and I know which article to cite. Okay. Just a little note, I don't know if I said that yet, but I went ahead with these articles and I just wrote Article 1, Article 2, and Article 3 at the top because I thought it would be easier for you when you're citing them instead of trying to write a whole long title. Just say, according to Article 1, according to Article 2, according to Article 3. Okay, so if you haven't done that yet, you can do that. It'll make your life a little easier. Okay, so that's it. That's your sort of reading, is to skim through those articles, find where your pros and cons are, and that will make the writing part a whole lot easier. All right, get to work. See you in a little bit. Bye.